The moment I opened the door and saw my cousin sitting on the edge of our bed, wearing my girlfriend's bathrobe, my entire world cracked open. That's the first image burned into my mind. Not her pleading eyes, not his smug half-smile, just the robe, my robe, the one I gave her last Christmas. My name is Alex, 27, graphic designer by profession, loyal to a fault by nature. I had been dating Jasmine for 3 years. We'd weathered storms, financial struggles, deaths in the family, even long distance. But nothing prepared me for this. Nothing. Jasmine was the one. I had no doubts. She was smart, thoughtful, and had that rare kind of laugh that made people in the next room smile. We talked about buying a house, having kids, building a future. I even had the ring. I kept it hidden inside a shoebox, just waiting for the perfect moment. But that moment never came. Instead came him. My cousin, Ray. Ray was the golden boy of our family. The charming one. The one everyone said had potential, even after dropping out of college, going off the grid, and reappearing every time he needed money or a place to crash. And I, the ever-trusting fool, let him stay at our place while he figured things out. That was my mistake. My greatest one. The first signs were small, easy to ignore. Jasmine started spending more time at home, even on days when she usually went out. I caught her laughing at texts and quickly hiding her phone. Ray, on the other hand, became overly helpful, cleaning the kitchen, fixing the leaky faucet I'd been procrastinating on. Too good to be true. I told myself they were just bonding, that Jasmine was just being kind to someone in need. But sometimes I'd come home and they'd be sitting way too close on the couch. Or I'd walk into the room and the air would feel strange, like I'd just missed something. Still, I convinced myself I was overthinking. I trusted Jasmine. I trusted family. Then came the day I left work early to surprise her. I stopped by a bakery to get her favorite chocolate mousse cake. I even texted her, "Hope you're home. Got a surprise for you." She didn't reply. Odd. But I didn't think much of it until I walked in. Until I saw that robe. Until Ray stood up shirtless and said with a smirk, "Alex, this isn't what it looks like." Jasmine just stared, eyes wide, pale. She didn't say a word. The room spun. I dropped the cake. It hit the floor with a thud, chocolate smearing like blood across the tiles. "You're sleeping with him?" I asked. My voice didn't sound like mine. It was distant, hollow. "No," Jasmine said quickly. "Alex, please. Let me explain." Ray didn't even look guilty. He crossed his arms and leaned against the dresser like he owned the place. "She came to me," he said coolly. "You were always working, always too busy. She needed someone real." The audacity. I should have punched him. I should have thrown him out the window. But I didn't. I just walked out, drove aimlessly for hours, parked in an abandoned lot, and sat in silence as the city lights blurred through my windshield. It wasn't just a betrayal. It was who did it. Family. Blood. And it wasn't over. Not by a long shot. I didn't sleep that night. I drove to my friend Kenny's place and crashed on the couch, staring at the ceiling while his loud ceiling fan whirred like a broken clock ticking through my thoughts. The next morning, Jasmine had already texted me 8 times. Missed calls, voice notes. I didn't open any of them. I couldn't. But the one that stood out was from my aunt, Ray's mother. "Call me. It's urgent. Please." I called, and that's when it all started to unravel. She wasn't surprised Ray had done something like this. She just didn't expect he'd do it to me. Apparently, he'd been in trouble before, sneaking around with married women, borrowing money he never returned, getting into fights over things that didn't belong to him. I asked her why no one told me. She sighed. Because every time he got into trouble, it was easier to clean it up than to face the shame. We thought he'd grow out of it. But this time, he hadn't just wrecked a relationship. He shattered something deeper. Trust, blood, family. 3 days later, I returned home to collect my things. Jasmine was there. She'd been waiting. She looked like she hadn't slept either. Her eyes were red, hair disheveled, no makeup. She opened the door slowly, like she expected me to throw something. Alex, I'm so sorry. I didn't respond. Just walked in and started packing. She followed me, talking the entire time. It wasn't supposed to happen. He was just around, and I was lonely. You were always busy. I felt like I didn't matter to you anymore. I turned sharply. So you sleep with my cousin? You let him in our bed. She flinched. I made a mistake, she whispered. One I'd give anything to take back. I laughed bitterly. You didn't just make a mistake, Jasmine. You made a choice. She cried, begged, said she didn't want to lose me. I wanted to scream, but instead, I said something I never thought I would. I'm not mad because you cheated. I'm mad because when you had the chance to come clean, you didn't. You let me believe we were building a future while you were tearing it down behind my back. I grabbed the shoebox with the ring in it. She saw it, gasped, You were going to propose? Yeah, I said, walking past her. But I guess I just proposed to a ghost. Later that night, I blocked her. But Ray? He wasn't done. He posted a picture on Instagram. Him shirtless, lying in my bed with the caption, What's blood when loyalty don't exist? The comments were full of laughing emojis. Some people even cheered him on. Others tagged me. I didn't respond. But inside, something broke again. Not because of Jasmine this time, but because I realized Ray wasn't just trying to steal my girlfriend. He was trying to be me. 2 weeks passed. I focused on work, therapy, my gym routine. I deleted old pictures, threw out gifts, even moved to a new apartment across town. Then one evening, Kenny called, Bro, you need to come to this address. Right now. Ray's here, and he's talking wild. I arrived at the house party. It was loud, packed, but as soon as I stepped inside, the music seemed to fade behind the pounding in my ears. Ray was in the kitchen, holding a drink, surrounded by girls. One of them whispered something, and he turned. His smile dropped when he saw me. Well, he muttered. Look who finally grew a spine. I didn't say a word, just looked him dead in the eyes. You took everything from me, I said calmly, but I want to thank you. He laughed. Thank me? Yeah, because now I see who you've always been. There was a pause. Keep the bed, I added. Keep the lies. One day they'll bury you. I turned to leave, but before I could reach the door, I heard shouting behind me. A girl screamed. I turned around just in time to see one of the girls slap Ray hard. Turns out, Jasmine wasn't the only one. Ray had been sleeping with another guest girlfriend at the same party. It erupted into chaos. Police were called. Fights broke out. Ray was arrested that night for assaulting someone who confronted him. And the best part? The whole thing was caught on video. 3 weeks later, that video went viral on social media. Ray? He was canceled, not just by the internet, but by our family. My aunt stopped defending him. Jasmine disappeared from social media. And me? I finally breathed. Betrayal hurts most when it comes from those closest to you. But sometimes, what feels like a breakdown is really a breakthrough. I didn't just lose a girlfriend. I lost illusions. I lost fake loyalty. And I gained something better. Freedom, clarity, and peace. And if you're watching this right now, wondering if you should leave, if you should let go of someone toxic, this is your sign. Don't wait to catch them in the act. Don't wait until it destroys you. Walk away before they burn everything you've built. If this story hit you deep, drop in the comments. Tell me your own betrayal story. Let's talk about it. And make sure you subscribe.